Humanity had not always lived among the stars. For a long time, they were alone. One small world. One fragile species. They looked up at the night sky and wondered if anyone was out there. Then, one day, the galaxy answered. Strange ships arrived near Earth. Tall beings with silver skin and calm voices spoke words of peace. They called themselves the Alliance of Free Worlds. The Alliance was fighting a terrible war. An ancient enemy had risen from the dark edges of space. This enemy burned planets. They destroyed cities. They showed no mercy. The Alliance was losing. Their fleets were breaking. Their soldiers were tired. Their worlds were falling, one by one. And then they saw humanity. At first, they laughed. Humans were small. Weak. Their ships were simple metal shells compared to alien war machines. Their weapons were old and slow. No one believed humans could help. But humanity asked only one question. Where do we fight? Within months, human fleets left Earth. Old ships were rebuilt. New engines were made. Young men and women trained day and night. They were not the strongest. But they were stubborn. They did not run. When the first battle came, everyone expected humans to die. Instead, they charged forward. Human pilots flew straight into enemy fire to protect alien ships. Human soldiers boarded burning stations to save trapped civilians. Human commanders made bold plans that no one else dared to try. They lost many ships. They lost many lives. But they never broke. Slowly, the war began to change. Human tactics confused the enemy. Human courage lifted broken fleets. Human doctors saved wounded soldiers of every species. Soon, stories spread across the galaxy. Stories of human captains who stayed behind so others could escape. Stories of human medics who worked until they collapsed. Stories of human engineers who fixed ships in the middle of battle. The Alliance started to look at humanity differently. Not as weak creatures, but as true warriors. After many hard years, the final battle came. The enemy gathered all their forces near a dying star. The Alliance followed, desperate and afraid. If they lost this battle, the galaxy would burn. Humanity volunteered to lead the attack. No one argued. Human fleets moved first, flying straight into the heart of danger. They opened the path. They broke the enemy lines. Behind them, the Alliance followed. The battle lasted 3 long days. Space was filled with fire and broken ships. Stars were hidden by smoke and light. When the fighting ended, the enemy was gone. The war was over. The galaxy was saved. And humanity had played the greatest part. Celebrations spread across many worlds. Cities shone with light. Music filled the skies. Flags of every species waved together. Alliance leaders praised humanity as heroes. They promised rewards. They promised land among the stars. They promised trade, respect, and equal voice. They said, from this day forward, humans are our brothers and sisters. Human leaders believed them. They signed treaties. They shared knowledge. They opened their borders. Human colonies were built near alien worlds. Human children studied in alien schools. Human traders crossed new star routes. For the first time, humanity felt accepted. They thought the galaxy had become their home. But not everyone was happy. Some alien leaders watched humans with cold eyes. They saw how fast humans learned. How quickly their ships improved. How strong their armies had become. They whispered in secret rooms. Humans are dangerous. They grow too fast. One day, they may rule us. Slow meetings were held without human voices. Plans were written in hidden codes. Smiles were shown in public. Fear was spoken in private. Humanity did not see it. They trusted their allies. They believed the war had united them forever. They believed friendship was real. They believed the galaxy was finally at peace. But far from human space, in dark halls of shining stone, the Alliance began to change its promises. And the first shadow of betrayal quietly began to fall. Peace did not arrive all at once. At first, everything looked calm. Human ships returned home. Soldiers rested. Cities were rebuilt on many worlds. The Alliance spoke kind words in public. They thanked humanity again and again. They called them saviors of the galaxy. They invited human leaders to great halls of crystal and gold. But something had already changed. Small signs appeared. Trade ships from human space were delayed at alien borders. New rules were added without warning. Human merchants waited for days while others passed freely. At first, humans thought it was a mistake. Then came the quiet meetings. Alliance leaders began to gather without inviting humans. Large councils were held in closed chambers. Doors sealed. Guards placed outside. Human ambassadors waited in empty halls. No answers came. Behind those doors, fear was growing. Alien leaders spoke in low voices. They are too brave. They learn too fast. They do not fear death like we do. One by one, old allies began to worry. Humans had won battles others could not. Human fleets now matched Alliance power. Human colonies were spreading across rich star systems. Some leaders saw not friends, but future masters. Slowly, decisions were made. Nothing violent. Nothing open. Only quiet changes. First, human fleets were moved away from key defense zones. They were told it was temporary. Then, human scientists lost access to shared research stations. Security reasons, the Alliance said. Next, borders shifted. Systems once promised to humans were given to other species. Old maps were redrawn without human names. Human leaders protested. Alliance officials smiled. Just small changes, they said. Do not worry. But worry had already begun. Human traders were stopped more often. Their cargo was searched again and again. Taxes were raised only on human goods. Some ships never returned. When families asked questions, answers were slow, or silent. Still, humanity believed. They remembered the war. They remembered the blood shared on burning worlds. They believed betrayal was impossible. Until the first warning came. A human patrol ship entered a neutral system to help a damaged alien vessel. The distress signal was real. The ship was truly breaking apart. Human officers moved to rescue survivors. Suddenly, Alliance warships appeared. Weapons locked. Orders were given. Leave the system at once. Confused, the human captain asked why. No answer came. Missiles were armed. The human ship withdrew, shocked but alive. The damaged alien vessel was destroyed moments later. No survivors. The report was classified. The incident was erased from records. Human leaders demanded explanation. Alliance commanders said only one thing. A misunderstanding. But misunderstandings continued. Human colonies near border space lost protection. Pirate attacks increased. Alliance patrols arrived too late, every time. Refugees began to flee toward human worlds. They spoke of secret lists. Of human names marked as risks. Of future plans whispered in alien cities. Fear finally reached human councils. But still, no proof. No open attack. Only silence. Then came the treaty revision. A new agreement was sent to Earth. Long pages of fine words and hidden limits. It reduced human fleet numbers. It restricted human expansion. It placed Alliance observers inside human command centers. Human leaders hesitated. This treaty felt wrong. Very wrong. They asked for time. The Alliance replied with smiles. Of course, they said. We trust our friends. But while humans debated, the Alliance prepared. Supply routes were redirected. Defense networks were quietly shifted. Codes were changed. And human access, slowly removed. In one final meeting, an old alien general spoke the truth. He stood before the council and said, "We used them in war. Now we must control them in peace." Many agreed. Few protested. The vote was taken. The decision was sealed. From that moment on, humanity was no longer an ally. They were now a problem to be solved. And somewhere in deep space, the trap began to close. The first strike did not come with a warning. It came with silence. Far from Earth, in a quiet border system, a human fleet guarded a peaceful trade route. Only cargo ships passed there. Only refugees and traders. No danger. No enemies. Or so they believed. One evening, human sensors detected movement near a dead moon. Faint signals. Hidden engines. The fleet commander, Admiral Ryan, ordered caution. Hold formation, he said. Open channels. Ask for identification. No reply came. Then space itself seemed to break. From behind the moon, Alliance warships appeared. Not patrol ships. Not scouts. Full battle cruisers. Weapons charged. Human officers froze. These were allies. Friends. Ryan opened every channel. "This is Admiral Ryan of the Terran Fleet," he said calmly. "Identify yourselves. You are in human-protected space." For several long seconds, nothing happened. Then a cold voice answered. "Withdraw your fleet immediately." Ryan stared at the screen. "Why?" he asked. "There are civilians here. This route is under joint protection." The voice replied only one sentence. "Orders have changed." Before Ryan could speak again, the first shot was fired. A bright beam tore through a human escort ship. Its shields failed in 1 second. The ship split apart in silence. No warning. No declaration. Just death. Human crews cried out in shock. "All ships, defensive formation." Ryan shouted. Human weapons powered up. But they did not fire back. Not yet. These were still allies. Still friends. They believed this had to be a mistake. Then missiles fell like burning rain. Cargo ships exploded. Refugee transports vanished in white light. Hundreds died in moments. Ryan finally understood. This was not an error. This was execution. "Return fire," he ordered. Human cannons answered. The battle was short. The Alliance fleet was stronger, prepared, and positioned perfectly. Human ships fought bravely. Pilots shielded civilian vessels with their own hulls. Engineers rerouted power with shaking hands. Medics worked among fire and smoke. But the enemy did not stop. One by one, human ships fell. Ryan's flagship burned, drifting without engines. Surrounded by wreckage, he sent one final message toward Earth. Alliance forces attacking civilians. This is betrayal. Repeat, betrayal. Moments later, his ship was destroyed. No survivors. Within hours, similar attacks happened across many systems. Human patrols vanished. Colonies lost contact. Stations went dark. The Alliance moved fast and clean. They targeted fleets. They cut communications. They destroyed warning relays. Then the public message came. Across the galaxy, on every channel, Alliance leaders spoke with calm faces. They said, "Humanity has become unstable. They attacked our forces without reason. For the safety of the galaxy, humans are now banned from central space. They declared humans enemies of peace. They froze human accounts. They seized human colonies near core worlds. They arrested human diplomats." On Earth, the news struck like thunder. Families searched for lost ships. Parents waited for messages that never came. Governments demanded answers. But all doors were closed. Every channel blocked. Every alliance broken. Refugees poured into human space. They spoke of burned cities. Of human flags torn down. Of soldiers taken away in chains. The truth was clear now. The galaxy had turned against them. Human leaders gathered in emergency council. Some wanted war at once. Some wanted peace. Some still hoped to speak. But the final proof arrived soon after. An Alliance fleet appeared near Mars. Not to attack, but to deliver a message. A single officer stood on the screen and said, "Humanity is ordered to withdraw from all Alliance space within 30 days. All fleets must disarm. All colonies beyond your core worlds are now Alliance property. If you resist, you will be destroyed." Then the screen went dark. Silence filled the room. Human leaders did not shout. They did not cry. They simply understood. The war had never ended. It had only changed its face. And the final knife had been placed deep in humanity's back. The 30 days passed in silence. Human fleets did not attack. Human worlds did not protest. Human leaders sent no threats. They simply left. One by one, human ships pulled back from border space. Colonies near Alliance worlds were abandoned. Stations were evacuated. Civilians moved inward, toward the old human systems. The galaxy watched in surprise. Many believed humanity had broken. They are afraid, some said. They know they cannot win, others whispered. Alliance fleets followed human movements carefully. They expected traps. But none came. Human warships avoided conflict. They obeyed every order to withdraw. Soon, human space became small again. Only a few core worlds remained. Earth. Mars. Several distant mining systems. Everything else was lost. Or so it seemed. Inside human territory, something very different was happening. Human leaders met in deep underground halls. Generals spoke in quiet voices. Engineers worked day and night. No anger was shown in public. No calls for revenge. Only calm. Only silence. Human fleets disappeared into deep space. Not destroyed. Not captured. They simply vanished beyond known maps. Exploration beacons went dark. Old jump gates were closed. Ancient star routes were erased from records. To the galaxy, humanity was fading away. Alliance officials smiled. "Good," they said. "The problem is solving itself." They divided the abandoned colonies among themselves. They took human factories. They claimed human research stations. Alien banners rose over former human cities. Some worlds were stripped clean. Others were turned into military bases. No one protested. Human voices were gone from the councils. Human flags no longer flew in central halls. Years passed. Trade returned. Wars ended. The galaxy slowly forgot the human name. Children grew up hearing humans only as a story. Once, there was a small species, teachers said. They fought bravely, then disappeared. Some believed humans had destroyed themselves. Some believed they had fled beyond the rim of the galaxy. Some said they had gone extinct. The Alliance declared the human question finished. But far beyond known space, where no charts existed, humanity was not dying. They were changing. In hidden systems near dark stars, massive shipyards were built. Around silent suns, new cities formed inside hollow asteroids. Deep beneath frozen planets, factories worked without rest. Human science advanced in secret. New engines that bent space itself. New shields that learned from every hit. New weapons that needed no reload. But more important than machines, human minds had changed. They no longer trusted promises. They no longer believed in easy peace. They trained harder than ever before. Pilots learned to fight without sensors. Soldiers learned to survive without supply lines. Commanders studied every mistake from the old war. Children were taught history early. Not the glory. The betrayal. They learned the names of lost ships. They memorized the worlds that were taken. They remembered every broken treaty. And yet, they did not teach hate. They taught patience. They taught control. They taught one simple rule. Never strike in anger. Strike only when victory is certain. Years turned into decades. Alliance technology slowed. Politics returned. Old rivals argued again. They believed the human threat was gone forever. But strange rumors began to appear. Pirates vanished in border space without battle. Unidentified ships were seen near forgotten systems. Ancient sensors detected impossible engine traces, then lost them again. Alliance investigators found nothing. No wreckage. No signals. No proof. Only silence. Then one day, a deep space listening station near an abandoned human route sent one final report. 3 unknown fleets detected. Design, human. Power level, impossible. Course, toward the old war zones. The station transmitted the message. And then, went silent forever. Far across the galaxy. In the quiet halls of human command, a single order was finally given. Begin Phase 1. Humanity had finished hiding. And the return was about to begin. The first sign was a shadow. Near an old battlefield, long abandoned and forgotten, a patrol ship drifted slowly through quiet space. Its mission was simple. Watch. Scan. Report. Nothing dangerous had appeared there for years. Then the stars moved. Not slowly. Not naturally. Space folded. Light bent. And 3 massive shapes appeared from nowhere. The patrol crew froze. These ships were not built like any known design. Their hulls were dark, smooth, without windows or lights. No flags. No markings. No visible weapons. Yet every sensor screamed danger. Power levels rose beyond scale. Shield readings broke measuring limits. The patrol captain tried to speak. This is Alliance Patrol Vessel Cora 17. Identify yourselves. No reply. The 3 ships moved forward. Not fast. Calm. Confident. The patrol crew felt fear like never before. They sent an emergency signal toward the nearest fleet base. Before help could arrive, a 4th shape appeared. Then a 5th. Then dozens. In seconds, an entire armada filled the system. Not thousands of ships, but each one larger than any battleship the Alliance had ever built. The stars themselves seemed small beside them. At last, a transmission came. Clear. Simple. Human. This is the Terran Vanguard fleet. We are entering former human space. We do not seek conflict. We are here to reclaim what was taken. The patrol captain could not speak. Humans were gone. That was history. That was myth. And yet, here they were. Within hours, reports spread across the sector. Human fleets had appeared in 5 systems at once. All near former battle zones. All near stolen colonies. Alliance commanders rushed to respond. Defense fleets moved to block them. Old battle lines were drawn again. The first confrontation happened near the world of Taurex. An Alliance fleet of 80 warships arrived to stop one human formation of 12 ships. The Alliance admiral felt confident. They had more numbers. More guns. More experience. He opened a channel. "Human vessels," he said, "you are violating Alliance territory. Withdraw at once or be destroyed." The human reply came calmly. "This territory was taken by force. We are correcting history." The admiral gave the order. Fire. Hundreds of beams struck the human lead ship. Explosions lit the void. For a moment, the Alliance believed they had won. Then the smoke cleared. The human ship remained. Not a single scratch on its hull. Before the Alliance could react, the human fleet moved. No warning. No speeches. Space around the Alliance ships twisted. Gravity changed direction. Engines failed. Weapons shut down. In less than 30 seconds, 80 warships drifted powerless. Alive. But defeated. The human commander spoke again. "We do not destroy those who surrender. Leave this system." One by one, Alliance ships fled. News spread faster than fear. Human fleets were unbeatable. Human technology had surpassed everything. Human discipline was perfect. Former human colonies sent secret messages. "Are you really back? Will you protect us?" Human answers were short. Yes. Within weeks, dozens of systems returned to human control. No planets were burned. No civilians were harmed. Only military targets were disabled. Only traitor governors were removed. Some were arrested. Some escaped. None resisted for long. In Alliance councils, panic began. Old leaders remembered the war. They remembered human courage. Now they saw human power. Emergency meetings filled crystal halls. "What do they want?" some asked. Revenge? Control? Destruction? No one knew. Then, across every public channel in the galaxy, humanity finally spoke. A single human figure appeared on millions of screens. Calm face. Steady eyes. No anger. Only resolve. The message was short. We were betrayed. We were hunted. We were erased. We survived. Now we return, not to conquer the innocent, but to reclaim what was stolen. And to judge those who broke their word. The screen went dark. Silence filled the galaxy. And every species finally understood one truth. Humanity had not returned as refugees. They had returned as the strongest power the galaxy had ever seen. Fear spread faster than light. Every world that had once turned against humanity now watched the stars with shaking hope. Human fleets did not rush blindly. They moved with calm purpose. System by system. Gate by gate. World by world. Their strategy was simple. They did not attack cities. They did not burn planets. They went only for power. In the first month, human fleets disabled every major Alliance defense hub near former human space. Shield networks collapsed. Command relays went silent. Military traffic froze. Alliance admirals tried to organize resistance. But human tactics were flawless. Before battles even began, human codes broke enemy systems. Human drones mapped every weakness. Human commanders predicted every move. When fighting came, it was short. An alliance fleet near the world of Seraph tried to ambush human ships inside a nebula. They failed. Human ships entered without lights, without signals. Their weapons struck only engines and command centers. No ships exploded. Every enemy vessel was captured intact. The human admiral sent one message to the defeated crews. Return to your homes. Tell your leaders this war is already lost. On other worlds, traitor governors were arrested. Some tried to flee. Human hunters followed silently. No speeches. No anger. Only justice. One governor begged for mercy. He said, "We only followed orders." The human officer answered quietly. "So did the soldiers you betrayed." The governor was taken away in chains. Across many systems, strange scenes appeared. Human soldiers protected alien civilians from pirates. Human medics treated wounded enemies. Human engineers restored damaged stations. They punished only those who planned betrayal. The innocent were left in peace. Slowly, fear turned into respect. Small species began to send secret envoys. "We never wanted this war," they said. "We were forced." Human leaders listened. They reviewed records. They studied histories. They searched for truth. Those who had truly been victims were forgiven. Those who had chosen betrayal were not. The greatest test came at the world of Aurelion. The heart of the old alliance. Home of the council that had ordered humanity's exile. Its defenses were legendary. 3 planetary shields. Thousands of warships. Ancient weapons left from the first galactic wars. Alliance leaders gathered there, desperate. They believed Aurelion could never fall. Human fleets arrived in silence. Not one formation, but many. They surrounded the system from every direction. Then, they did nothing. No attack. No demand. No threat. For 2 full days, human ships waited. Alliance leaders grew confused. Then frightened. On the 3rd day, a human message came. "We are not here to destroy your world. We are here to remove your power." Suddenly, every shield on Aurelion shut down. Not broken. Turned off. Human codes had entered systems thought impossible to reach. Alliance fleets rushed to launch. But engines failed. Weapons stayed cold. Only human ships could move. Human boarding teams entered command stations. No resistance. No fighting. Only quiet footsteps in shining halls. In the great council chamber, human officers stood before the leaders who had once betrayed them. These leaders looked old now. Small. Afraid. The human commander spoke slowly. "You declared us dangerous. You stole our worlds. You killed our people in silence." He paused. "But you will not die today." The leaders stared in shock. "You will live," he continued. "And you will watch the galaxy change." The Alliance Council was dissolved that very day. Their fleets were placed under human supervision. Their borders were redrawn. Their secret records were open to all species. Across the galaxy, truth finally came out. The lies. The secret votes. The planned attacks. Worlds that had trusted the Alliance felt shame. Worlds that had suffered felt relief. And humanity. Humanity did not take the throne. Instead, they built something new. A council where no species ruled alone. A defense system shared by all worlds. Trade routes protected equally. Human fleets remained strong. But they stayed in the background. Watching. Guarding. Waiting. One final message was sent across the galaxy. We did not return for revenge. We returned for balance. Betrayal will never again rule the stars. And slowly, the galaxy began to understand. Humanity was not claiming the galaxy to rule it. They were claiming it. To protect it. The war ended without a final battle. No great explosion marked the victory. No burning world showed the end. Instead, silence returned. Across the galaxy, fleets powered down. Borders stabilized. Weapons cooled. The old alliance was gone. Its flags were lowered. Its councils dissolved. Its secrets revealed to all. Many worlds waited in fear. They asked the same question. What will humanity do now? Some expected punishment. Some feared conquest. Some prepared for slavery. But humanity surprised them all. Human fleets did not stay to occupy worlds. Human soldiers did not seize cities. Human commanders did not crown themselves rulers. Instead, they began to leave. One by one, human armadas withdrew from conquered systems. Only small defense groups remained. Not to control. To protect. Human leaders invited every free species to a new gathering. Not in a palace. Not in a fortress. But on a simple station between stars. A neutral place. When the delegates arrived, they saw something strange. No golden halls. No giant thrones. No armed guards. Only a round table. Equal seats. Equal space. Human representatives spoke first. Their voice was calm. We do not want your worlds. We do not want your wealth. We do not want your throne. They paused. We only want a galaxy where betrayal is impossible. They proposed a new order. No single power would rule. No secret councils would decide fate. No species would be excluded. Every major decision would be shared. Every treaty would be open. Every fleet would answer to many worlds, not one. Some leaders resisted. Power was hard to give up. But then records were shown. Images of burned human ships. Messages from dying colonies. Secret orders written by old councils. Silence filled the chamber. One by one, the leaders agreed. The new council was formed that very day. It was called the Circle of Free Worlds. Humanity refused the highest seat. They chose only one role. Guardians. Their fleets would patrol dangerous space. Their technology would protect trade routes. Their soldiers would defend weak worlds. But they would never rule them. Years passed. The galaxy healed. Old enemies traded again. New worlds were settled peacefully. Pirate empires vanished under human patrols. Children on distant planets learned a new history. Not only of betrayal, but of return. They heard stories of the silent fleets. Of ships that appeared from nowhere. Of warriors who punished only the guilty. And always, one lesson remained. Never betray humanity. But also, never fear them, if you are honest. On Earth, monuments were built. Not to celebrate victory. But to remember loss. Names of fallen ships. Names of broken colonies. Names of soldiers who never came home. Human children visited those halls in silence. They learned what trust meant. They learned what betrayal cost. And they learned why patience was stronger than anger. Far in deep space, at the edge of known stars, one human fleet still waited. Not for war. For warning. If ever the galaxy forgot its lesson, humanity would remember. But for now, peace held. The galaxy was not ruled by fear. Not ruled by lies. Not ruled by betrayal. It was ruled by balance. And at the center of that balance stood humanity. No longer the weakest species. No longer the betrayed. But the quiet guardians of a free galaxy. And for the first time since the Old War, the stars finally slept in peace.